Hello again to another Agakale Reacts, and today we'll be watching 10 weird holiday traditions from around the world, from the Think Celebrity. Don't think I've ever seen anything from this channel, but let's just go. Let's just go and see what's going on, what kind of weird traditions. There might be something that I won't consider weird. We'll see.
Getting ready for the holiday season is such a fun and festive time because everyone celebrates in their own unique way. While some people put up decorative Christmas trees covered in lights, others are carving radishes for their holiday tradition. If this sounds weird to you, it gets even wackier, so stay tuned. If this is your first time visiting our channel, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today we'll be showing you 10 weird holiday traditions from around the world. KFC. KFC is pretty delicious at any time of year, but the Japanese really enjoy eating meals from this fast food chain during the holiday season. Although the fried chicken establishment originated in the Western Hemisphere, people in Asia just can't get enough of it. But there are so many fast food franchises out there. What's so special about KFC to the Japanese? Well, this nationwide tradition started when KFC marketed its food as a traditional family meal for the holidays. Their marketing gimmick worked so well, and the Japanese thought a fried chicken dinner for their holiday was an excellent idea. Since the 1970s, the lines at Japanese KFCs during
I actually heard about that.
have been ridiculous.
That
Christmas
the
may not be a
KFC
national
bucket and
holiday
thing
in
is
Japan, but some
yeah.
people treat it as a romantic holiday, similar to Valentine's Day. It's customary for everyone to enjoy a nice dinner at a fancy restaurant or a bucket of chicken from a fast food
What
joint.
is that?
During the holiday season, an
That
estimated
looks tasty.
3.6 million Japanese treat themselves, their families, and friends to the establishment's special Christmas dinner. The meal is so popular, some KFCs require customers to order weeks in advance, and those who rather stand in line for their meals sometimes have to wait for hours to get their hands on a tasty drumstick and a biscuit. Mari Lwyd, are you ready for the next weird holiday tradition? If so, follow us along as we take a trip to Wales. This European country has a bunch of different customs, but its Christmas tradition might be the weirdest of them all. It's called Mari Lwyd, otherwise known as Grey Mare in English. Revelers take a horse's skull and decorate it with a bunch of different bells and fancy ribbons. Then they attach the skull to a pole. The person who's holding the skull is then covered with a white sheet, and they go door to door, singing songs and challenging families to a rap battle. As the battle rages on, they diss each other and hurl playful insults back and forth until a winner of the rap battle is crowned. Then the person holding the skull is usually invited inside of their challenger's home to enjoy some delicious refreshments, heading out to the next house and starting a brand new battle all over again. This old tradition has died out in many parts of the country, but it's still alive and well in many areas because it's said to bring good luck. If you travel to Wales
Why
anytime
not?
between December and January, you've been warned. Don't be surprised if you see someone draped in a white sheet carrying around an animal skull. We're not even sure where they get the horse skulls from, but to be honest, we'd rather not know. Goat on fire. Since 1966, the town of Gävle, Sweden, has been partaking in an act of arson to celebrate the holidays. If you think this sounds strange, just wait, because we're going to tell you all about this weird tradition. Each year, the historic city builds a 43-foot tall straw goat. On December 3rd, a large crowd gathers in the city to inaugurate the straw sculpture. Fireworks go off in the distance as everyone celebrates, and the goat stands proudly in the center of the town for everyone to gaze at its beauty. So where does the fire come into play? Well, the tradition was never intended for the goat to be set on fire, but that's usually what happens year after year. Arsonists have managed to torch the goat 39 times throughout the years, but the people of this city have finally decided to wisen up. They now set up security cameras, and they have an around-the-clock live stream for people who keep an eye on the beloved goat. And if anyone tries to torch it, they'll be in for the stiff punishment. In 2001, an American tourist reportedly spent 2 weeks behind bars and paid a $10,000 fine after setting the poor goat on fire. When
That's
asked
a big
why he
thing.
did
That's
it,
very.
he said it was
That's
because he thought it was a part of the city's tradition. Because the straw sculpture has gone up in flames so many times, we're not surprised that some people are confused by this tradition. It seems like the people of this town expect the goat to be destroyed, but they don't actually encourage it. Christmas log. This next tradition may seem like a joke, but it actually originates from the old Catalan mythology. For ages, people have used logs to help keep this long-standing tradition alive. Beginning on December 8th, people in this region gather up their decorative hollow logs. Each wooden log has a face and stick legs, and they wear little red hats on their heads. Before heading off to bed, children will grab sticks and proceed to beat their log while singing a traditional Catalonian song.
Why-
Then they
what-
play nice with
why
the log
beating,
by
though?
making sure it's nice and cozy. They will set it up in a prominent place in their home and leave food out for it to eat. Then they'll wrap the wooden figure in a nice little blanket to keep it warm throughout the night. It's almost similar to Westerners leaving milk and cookies out for Santa Claus on Christmas Eve, except kids in Catalonia aren't waiting for Santa to climb down their chimneys and leave them presents. They believe the wooden log is the actual bearer of gifts. As they head off to bed to get some Z's, their parents fill up the inside of the hollow logs with treats, candies, and other presents. When the kids wake up, they are greeted by the sight of their gifts cascading outside of the log, sort of like the log is going number 2. This may sound pretty gross to you, but it's a really fun and festive holiday tradition in this region of Spain. Roller skate to Mass. This next Christmas tradition sounds like so much fun. Are you ready to find out what it is? If so, follow us along as we head off to the city of Caracas, Venezuela. On Christmas morning, residents of the city wake up to a dazzling display of colorful fireworks in the early morning. Then everyone in the city puts on their roller skates to embark on a trip downtown to attend Christmas Mass. This tradition attracts so many roller skaters. The streets are closed off beginning at 8 a.m. and roads are blocked off so that everyone
That's
can make their
interesting.
roller skating commute without having to deal with traffic.
This
For
is kind
those
of
who
like
choose to
here in
stay home
Ireland,
and watch the
the people
skating
are
event from
doing
inside their house, there's still
during
a
the
way
Christmas
for
day,
them
I
to
think,
get involved in this
into
yearly tradition.
ocean
Children
to
have
cold
been known
water.
to tie one end of a string to their big toe and hang the string outside of their window. As the roller skaters pass by, they will gently pull on the string as they skate by. Once the roller skaters reach the church, they roll down the pews before taking off their skates and putting on their regular shoes. When Mass is over, they put their skates back on and hit the town. As they make their way back home, they might even stop by a few homes that have their doors open. Many people will offer the skaters hot chocolate or a coffee as a friendly gesture. Creepy spider webs. Westerners get ready for the holiday season by purchasing a real or a fake Christmas tree. Then the entire family gathers around to decorate the tree with shiny ornaments and a string of bright and colorful lights. In Ukraine, a tree is also a common symbol of the holiday season, but they decorate theirs a bit differently. Before we tell you what they use on their trees, we'll first have to tell you where their yearly tradition originated from. An old Ukrainian legend stated that a poverty-stricken family was feeling a bit down on Christmas Eve because they weren't able to decorate their tree in shiny lights and ornaments. As they went to bed that night, spiders that were roaming the
Aw.
house heard their sobs and cries and decided to decorate their tree for them. The spiders spun a bunch of webs all over the tree, and on Christmas morning, the strands turned to gold and silver, changing the family's fortune forever. Because of this legend, people in the Ukraine now decorate their trees with spider webs. Well, fake ones, of course. This tradition is supposed to usher in good luck for the upcoming year, as many people still hope that maybe their spider webs will turn into gold and silver, just like the old legend. Now, this is one weird tradition we wouldn't mind taking part in. Hide your brooms. Norwegians are really serious about their cleaning supplies, especially their brooms. The broom became a part of their Christmas tradition many years ago, according to legend. The story includes witches and evil spirits that would come out on Christmas Eve and steal everyone's Norwegians' brooms. The witches and spirits would then use the brooms to fly through the sky and wreak havoc on the towns. Whether this legend is true or not, it still freaks out the people of Norway to this day. So they've continued to participate in this yearly custom to safeguard their brooms from the creepy villains. Every year, they stash away their brooms and hide them on Christmas Eve, and some of the men of this country actually take things one step further. They'll actually step outside of their home and let off a blast from their firearm to show the spirits that they mean business.
Oh, okay.
This may sound a little bit excessive, but it's always best to respect other people's traditions, no matter how crazy they may sound to you. Now, we've seen some pretty weird holiday traditions so far, but nothing can prepare you for what's coming up next. It has to do with the radishes we told you about at the beginning of this video. Are you ready to find
Where
out more?
is that, I
Okay,
wonder?
here we go. Night of the Radishes. Radishes aren't usually a veggie that get a lot of praise and attention, unless you just so happen to live in the Mexican city of
Oh,
Oaxaca.
Mexico,
In
okay.
1897, the city's mayor created a tradition that required everyone to take part in a radish carving celebration. The event kicks off every December 23rd, and it's called the Night of the Radishes. Although the name suggests it only lasts for one night, it's actually a 3-day-long event. Everyone gets involved in this
Wow.
holiday tradition, from young kids to talented artists. Everyone puts their creative abilities to the test by creating some pretty amazing radish sculptures.
Yeah.
The event takes place in the town
There's
plaza,
big
where
radishes,
everyone
too.
puts the radishes on displays. After church services,
Wow.
people head out into the market area to view all the beautiful decorated veggies. They can even
never heard
purchase
about
some
that
of them if
one.
they like. The radishes used in this event are grown
In all fairness, so
specifically
far
for
I
this
just heard
tradition,
about
so
the
they're a
one
lot
from,
larger and heavier than your
Japan.
typical radishes you'd find in the grocery store. They're not meant to be eaten. They're considered works of art. This festival is so popular, people line up for hours just to get a peek at the carved vegetables, from ones that are designed as nativity scenes to radishes that are shaped like snakes snakes, and alligators. The
Just
city
kinda
also
scared me.
gives a grand prize of 12,000 pesos, or approximately $635 to the best radish sculpture. Moldy seal. We hope you don't have a weak stomach because this next tradition will definitely make you a bit nauseous. It takes place in Greenland, and it's a traditional holiday feast that's planned months and sometimes years in advance. To prepare the meal, the people of this island sculpture a seal. The meat is removed from the inside and just the thick layer of fat on the outside remains. Then they sew the skin together sort of like a bag to help keep it in place. Then they stuff the inside of the seal with 300 to 500 little birds called auks. For the last step, they get a bunch of seal fat and smear it all over the outside of the animal to help keep flies and other rodents away from it. Next, they take the bird-stuffed seal and leave it underneath a pile of rocks. They allow the flesh to rot, decompose, and ferment from anywhere between 3 to 18 months. As soon as winter arrives, it's time for them to enjoy this holiday meal. They dig up the meat from underneath the rocks and proceed to chop up the seal and birds and share it with their family and friends. But because the smell of rotting flesh is so terrible, they can only eat this traditional dish outside so they don't stink up their homes. Those who have tried this meal say it tastes like a mixture of licorice and the strongest cheese ever. Are you an adventurous eater? If so, would you be brave enough to
Yeah,
take a bite out
the
of
I
Greenland's
probably
moldy
would
seal,
try it
Krampus?
if they didn't
Now
mention
it's time to
licorice.
tell you about the weirdest holiday tradition of them all. It takes part in Austria and other parts of Europe, and it's called Krampus Night. In case you're unaware, Krampus is the anti-Santa. He actually looks more like a wicked monster or an evil beast. On December
Yeah,
5th,
they
which
look-
is
they're
the
terrible.
eve of St. Nicholas Day, people get dressed up in their most horrifying Krampus outfits. While Santa Claus rewards all the good kids with presents and treats, Krampus is unleashed to punish all the bad kids. People
That's
dressed
scary.
in their Krampus outfits roam the streets
Ooh.
to scare young children. And we're sure
Oh.
all the kids get totally creeped out whenever Krampus night rolls around. Many of the
Say
costumes
so.
have horns, fangs, and everything else nightmares are made of. While the Krampus beasts are chugging
Woo.
alcohol and wandering down the streets,
Excuse
kids
me.
leave boots outside their front
Yeah.
doors. In the morning, Krampus will either leave a present in their boot if they've been good, or a rod if they've been a bad boy or girl.
This is what's...
That brings us to the end of our video. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I actually did enjoy it. It was very interesting and very informative. But the last part is something similar happening in Poland, but not Krampus. It's Santa. Saint Nick gives gifts into your boot, or if you were bad, you're getting a stick. So it's kind of very similar, but we're getting it not from Krampus, but from actual Santa. So yeah. So I didn't really hear, like I said, I only heard about this one from Japan, about the KFC. And I don't think I heard about any other traditions. They were very interesting. Like the one with the spiders, that legend behind it is really cool. Excuse me, guys. I'm sitting too long. I need something to drink. I'm gonna go and make myself a coffee. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!